You're listening to the Warlord Radio Podcast.
And we're back. Welcome to Warlord Radio.
What's up, Warlords? I feel like it's been forever, Craig.
I know. It feels like it, not to the people that listen to this.
No, because I mean, like, to them, we come out every week, but to us, it's
we got this weird thing. So we've got new episodes, of which this will be one, right?
Uh-huh.
They premiere every other week because we're bi-monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that we're working with Harry Rock Radio.
Which shout out to Harry Rock Radio. I have enjoyed this partnership quite a bit.
Yeah,
actually.
Shout out to Kevin Sasquatch at Harry Rock, and they're doing a great job, and they're showing or airing older episodes of ours too every Sunday from 7 to 11 at harryrockradio.com. It's like an online radio station.
So make sure you go over to Harry Rock Radio, give them a like, give them all that shit.
Yeah.
But support Warlord Radio because someday Craig and I would like to do this for a living.
Right.
And that would be nice.
Right. Going to work, fuck you.
Today we have an incredibly special guest. I have been trying to get this dude on this show for like a year now.
Yeah, some of that's my fault.
Oh, well, no, not just your fault. Like, ask him, like, there's been so much weird shit pop up between us and the infamous, by the way, our guest tonight is Jake Pearson of the Great Hanging.
Hey, Jake.
What's up? Formerly of Monogamizer, formerly of, like, playing fucking Tom for, what was it, Cobalt Fist?
Kobold's Fist.
Nice.
Wow, that's name for a band.
It's like I think Kobold's a Dungeons & Dragons monster, I think?
Yeah, Cobalt is, yeah. I don't recall which one it is, which I feel like I'm losing Dungeons & Dragons points right now.
Dude, I was going to say, don't you do like a Sunday night
Oh, bro,
D&D
we don't just
thing?
do D&D. We fucking do D&D.
Right?
There's lights and smoke machines and music and costumes and all that shit. Like, it's
Right.
fucking great.
Nice.
But,
orgasm.
Yeah. But the reason tonight's episode is so special is because I first played, Diesel Beast played a show at the Great Hanging like, a year ago, probably.
Was that our first time together?
Was it?
I don't know, we played a couple of times, but not that many. But the first time I ever saw you...
It was Abbey Underground, wasn't
It was at Abbey
and
Underground.
I think, because we played with you guys at Abbey Underground, and I can't remember if it was the same show.
I can't remember either.
But it was definitely at Abbey that we played with you guys.
I do, however, wear your shirt all the fucking time, and my kid asks me every time, he's like, what's the little loop thing? And I'm like, that's where you break people's necks. But okay, so first off, Jake, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Jake.
Give us your full name and what you do for the band.
My name's Jake Pearson, or my stage name, Jake Liger. I got really drunk one night, and we have a song, Space Liger, and I was just like, Space Liger.
You know what? Jake Liger works so well for you.
Right?
Does it?
It really does, man. You guys put on such a fucking good show, though.
Thank you. I tried.
The first time I ever saw the Great Hanging, like, I see, like, okay, like, most of us on the metal scene, and Craig can attest to this, we all look the same. Like, you wear a local metal shirt and then some pants and some shoes, and it's like, and maybe you got something fucking cool on your wrists or whatever, and that's kind of how we do it. But Jake comes out in like flaming chaps and like rattlesnake skin boots and shit.
Greatness.
And it's just like, it was like, as soon as he walked on stage, I was into the show.
Right.
And then once you actually watch The Great Hanging, and I feel like The Great Hanging is this metal scene's best kept secret. Because you guys don't play around as much as we do, because you're all the way the fuck out in Gainesville. You're on like the other side of Denton.
Yeah, there's like nothing going on out there.
But
it's hard sometimes to get
it's
around.
such legit. And I mean, I'm not trying to pigeonhole your band or anything, but it is like, when I watch The Great Hanging, I'm like, this is thrash. This is for real fucking thrash. This is like, this is not playing around. There's not a whole lot of other, this is just pure fucking like big four thrash, you know what I mean?
And I got a real big soft spot for thrash. Like, I love thrash. So
any metalhead on the DFW metal scene,
right?
Like, because they get real pretentious and everybody gets real bitchy sometimes. But like, we all love thrash, like, because we all came up on it. All of us, So like, tell us, like, who are your main influences? Because to me, it's obvious, but I mean, The Great Hanging, like, fuck. There's a lot of Megadeth in there, bro.
Most of my influence is actually, I mean, I do really love like Megadeth, Big Four, like Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, all the classics, you know, coming up on those, right? But I think whenever we kind of started really developing, or whenever I started really developing the sound of the band, is I was getting really into Japanese metal.
Yes.
And
which is actually very thrashy.
Oh my God, yes,
dude. Like the Japanese CDs and tapes of Loudness.
Oh yeah,
fucking rip.
Well, one of the things that maybe not a lot of people know, and I'm going
and I know there's
calling back to the Megadeth here, but like sometime in the 90s, Megadeth played Japan, and Dave Ellefson just stayed.
Right.
And then like
Marty Friedman.
I'm sorry, Marty Friedman. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Don't at me on fucking. Actually, I don't have a Twitter. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
No, but Marty Friedman just stuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's still there, like playing, like fucking crazy music.
There is a big rumor that he's actually a part of Baby Metal.
Yeah.
I know his. I don't know if he's still with him or if I think something happened, but I think the guitarist in his band is the guitarist for Baby Metal, I believe.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. And hey, all metalheads out there on the DFW scene that want to get all pretentious and shit about it, I fucking love Baby Metal.
Baby Metal is the realest metal out there.
I'm telling you, because
it's true,
dude. They got their gimmick and then they fucking stuck with it. You know what I mean? Like. And if you don't like gimmick metal, then that's fine. I happen to love fucking gimmick metal.
It's not just that either. It's like, I mean, metal's been sort of like historically like this sort of like rebellious music, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, there hasn't been much to rebel against. Like, as a metalhead in like such a long time.
No,
because, like,
we were coming up like, cause you get, how old are you, bud?
27.
Oh shit. Okay, when me and Craig were coming up, and to a lesser extent you, we actually we lived through like the whole satanic panic bullshit, like where if you had an Anthrax shirt, you got expelled from school.
Oh yeah.
Like it was fucked up. But then like somewhere along the way, you gotta credit Korn with this. I think you do, because the Korn shirts were everywhere, but when new metal hit, like
that
people were just like, this isn't satanic, it's just stupid.
It's like Fred Durst wouldn't ruin it for everybody.
Exactly. And so like while there's still that rebellious metal attitude, I feel like in America it gets whitewashed a little bit. You know what I mean? 'Cause there's like dads and shit that are metalheads now, and I'm not trying to downplay what we do and make it sound less edgy, but for fuck's sake. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
I saw a guidance counselor and a Lamb of God tattoo one time.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Metal.
You know, but we definitely, I think you don't kind of, I guess, as bands now, don't really go through experiences like that of, you know, like the people saying, oh, you're not going to make it, or, you know, like now it's kind of like the first time where it's just like, yeah, if there's ever been more of a shot, you know, is fucking now. But I think Baby Metal being rebellious, it's so not metal that it is metal.
Exactly,
you know?
like Ghost. So many people fucking vehemently hate Ghost because they're not heavy enough. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is a hot take from Garrett Coleman. You don't get to be that fucking overtly satanic and not be considered metal. Like, fuck off if you don't like Ghost at all.
I just like it because I like bands like Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
And obviously like Merciful Fate and stuff like that. But you know, it's like I'm cool with like more mellow like 70s rock because it reminds me of when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. And it's
Ghost is what happens,
you know, it's like, and I've heard the complaint too, it's like, that's not death metal. It's not trying to be.
Yeah.
Like you can't judge something against what it's not trying to be. It's like, no, it's not black metal. It's not trying to be black metal. It's just trying to be like 70s occult themed rock. That's exactly what it sounds like, and I'm 100% cool with that.
And they're really good at it.
They got like super catchy choruses, the singer's a good singer, they come up with good riffs, it's like fucking chill out.
Hashtag unpopular opinion. Dude, Ghost is what happens when you mix Duran Duran with Satan.
Like
That's what Ghost is, and I don't fucking hate that. Anyway.
what do y'all think that is about Ghost? Like, is it like an image thing? Do you think?
It's not an image
partially.
thing.
I mean,
Partially, but a show thing for sure.
The same thing as Alice Cooper, but
Yeah.
then again, it kind of deals. It's like, at least to me, that's what they're aiming for, is that time period of Alice Cooper Kiss, and then a little bit later on, like Merciful Feet, where they're incorporating
It's rock and roll,
shock,
but it's heavy rock and roll.
the shock, but they're trying to do like this kind of like 70s themed like fuzz rock. And it's like the merging of the two is, I like it a lot because it's so rare nowadays.
But then there's always those hairball fucks out there that are like, Ghost is ripping off Portal. Portal's from Australia.
but
Portal was doing the Dark Clergy. Have you heard Portal though? They're fucking garbage, dude.
No,
It's terrible.
Portal's cool, but it
No, really,
it's
they
like,
suck, dude. Really,
but it's just totally different. You know what I mean? That's like avant-garde black metal, and it's like that is so.
But it's not good. Dude,
what
Apophis
Ghost
is
trying to
good
do.
avant-garde black metal.
Oh, yeah.
Portal sucks. Anyway, that's me.
Nah.
Sorry.
So back to you, man. Tell us, like, what's it like being a metal band out of Gainesville?
Gainesville. Actually, tell the folks just a bit about what Gainesville is to the Metroplex.
Yeah.
To the Metroplex?
Because we talk about the Denton, Dallas, Fort Worth trifecta a lot, and Gainesville is like 30 miles.
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people who are in Gainesville, like, oh, we're playing a show in Dallas. Like, that's a little far for me, you know.
Right.
Like,
It's hard to, I would imagine it's hard to gain a following. Also, Gainesville's not, it's a college town, but it's not a huge town.
It's not a good college town. Like, it's got a college in it, but that's about as much as you can. It's not like, doesn't feel like Denton, doesn't feel like Austin, doesn't feel like a real college town at all.
Right.
It's really rural, and,
jurors.
just like a bunch of old white people for the most part.
For the most part.
Is everybody in the band from the Gainesville area?
Yes.
Yeah.
We either.
So we guys like the only four metalheads, and you're like, start a band.
Why would you not?
Pretty much. I mean, like we've gone through, like originally searching for a second guitarist, trying to find a new second guitarist now.
Right.
At one point we were having like some drummer issues, and it's just like there's like hardly anybody in Gainesville. Like in Gainesville, we are one of 3 metal bands that I know of that are around. One of them I haven't heard from.
I'm gonna tell you, like, there's only like
the other is
7, 8 bands in Gainesville. Period.
Most of them are like country bands.
Yeah.
Or just weird kind of singer-songwriter kind of stuff.
What's
or
the name
whatever.
of that shitty dive bar that's right off the fucking highway?
You're thinking of PD's place.
Hubcaps? PD, is that what it's called now? PD's place?
Yeah, it's closed down now, but
Is there any place for you guys to play in Gainesville, or do you have to play all of your shows
Actually,
elsewhere?
check this out. Like, do you guys still do the pool thing?
we haven't in a while.
Okay.
It's just like it's in a warehouse, and it's like it's got no ventilation, so it's just like we played there once in the summer, and
Why would you do that to yourself, Jake?
I didn't, or maybe not in the summer. Maybe have been just like maybe like right before or like right after, right where you think it was supposed to be cool, or whatever.
Right.
Our rhythm guitarist, he's in one of the only other metal bands in Gainesville, which is just a little 2-piece black metal band.
Mm-hmm.
That
For real? Hold up. There's a 2-piece black metal band in Gainesville?
They're not like super active, really. It's
What are they called, though?
Cobalt's Fist.
Oh, okay. That was the one you played. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Forbes mentioned that band. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and their set's only like 10, 15 minutes maybe, and like once he gets done drumming, and he's like, honestly, he's one of the best drummers I've ever played with, or seen almost for that matter, and he just goes nuts on the kit, and like afterwards, just 10 minutes, just on the ground throwing up, and it's just like it's too fucking hot out here. Like the weather is too like unpredictable for a non-insulated
We've
thing.
all played shows like that, though.
I just a couple weeks ago we played at Billy LaFawn's
Oh, yeah?
Sculpture, yeah. He had that Metal Fest.
Right.
Yeah, man. We're about to do the Cannibal Fest here in a few weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. But Billy
How
LaFarge.
was that show for you?
It was actually really. We had him filling in on drums because our drummer couldn't make it actually.
You had
Yeah.
Billy filling in?
No. Our rhythm guitar.
Your buddy.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. And
Sorry, I would pay money to see Billy LaFarge get behind the fucking.
oh yeah, that'd be great, man.
I'm talking to you, Billy.
Right.
But no, it was really great. It was really fun. It was one of our probably like our most. Definitely, I think it was probably like our most fun show that we played this year.
Nice.
Just the overall vibe of the place. It was just like a house party, right? They had like there was like a cookout and.
We actually talk about that a lot on this show and you experience this way more so than either here or I do, as like Denton is running out of venues for
a little bit,
for even just bands to play, not even metal bands, just bands in general.
Yeah, thankfully Rubber Gloves is back and not turning into a skate park.
Well, and
I am the bouncer and booker at Rubber Gloves.
Garrett's the man at Rubber Gloves.
Hell yeah.
I am the one in charge of Metal Nights, so we're about to.
You're having your first metal night.
I am having my first Metal Night. It'll be way after this airs, though.
Yeah, but quick plug.
Quick plug. So, okay, here's the deal. September 20th, I put together a show of really good bands.
Tell us who they are.
It is Stone Wolf, Superhero Supervillain, which Ziggy, the guitar player for Superhero Supervillain, is also the lead singer of a little band called Diesel Beast,
Yes.
which you may have heard of on this show before.
Right.
And then, taking the night out is Lament Configuration, which
Is it 3?
Yeah, it's 3 that night. That's why it covers $5.
That's great. No, I mean I love that. I just didn't know. You know.
No, I want because okay. Here's the thing about nobody realizes about us in metal bands, and like back me up on this, dudes. Like we have some songs that are like 2 minutes and 32 seconds, and then we have other songs that are like 7 minutes and 57 seconds, and it's ridiculous. It's very inconsistent.
That's great.
So anyway, what I am trying to do is jumpstart a metal night. At
like a consistent
Gloves.
one that you can, book bands there and stuff.
Exactly.
Is that going to be weekly or monthly or?
I'm gonna try and do monthly because I think that's more feasible at the moment. I would love to have the Great Hanging On, by the way.
Yeah.
And of course, Silver Tongue Devil's gonna play. And if you don't, then I'm quitting the show. That'd be a really dick move, Craig.
You'll have to meet our writer first.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't get brown M&Ms. You know what I'm gonna give you? I'm gonna give you a half a pack of smokes and a 4-pack of beer.
We want 13 glass dildos filled only with premium beer.
No, you get one rubber dildo that is used.
Damn it, that's what we normally get.
No, but anyway, so yeah, quick plug. Go blow up Rubber Gloves' social media page and tell them you want more Metal Nights at Rubber Gloves because I can make that happen.
And importantly, go to fucking Rubber Gloves in Denton to support the Metal Nights when they happen. Because the great lineup. This first one, it's going to be tomorrow. I know that this will air after that. But 3 great bands, all from the area, going to have a good pull. And want to make this a consistent thing. And it's necessary because so many venues have been closing down in the Denton, North Dallas area.
So that was my original point. Thank you, Craig.
There you go.
Great host.
That's why I get big bucks.
No, so my whole point was that we had a lot of venues closed down in Denton as far as
And we just had another one.
Fucking Crown and Lion out of fucking nowhere. Their album release show was booked there, has been booked there 4 months.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday they just fucking shut the whole fucking place down.
That sucks.
Did not tell anybody.
That sucks.
Yeah, I think I got another venue for you, but we'll talk about that later.
Right.
But the deal is okay, and in Dallas, everybody kind of went. There's not a lot of live music in Dallas. There's a lot of DJs and shit. But I mean, if you want to play metal or something, you either have to play. You have to play Wits End. You have to play
Wits End's
Reno's.
like a spot now. Is Reno still pay to play?
Nah, fuck no. Just somebody made you pay to play at Reno's? Are you fucking serious?
No,
I know it was for a while.
We didn't get made to play, but we tried booking some shows there for a little while.
Man, if you need to go to Reno's, just show up with some cocaine, they'll let you in.
Well, we tried. we're trying to look for a manager, and I think he was a dude who used to. I don't know if he still works there or booked for them or whatever.
Who was it?
Do we say his name or?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Hot takes.
Terry Sprague.
Oh, okay.
Tracy. That's
Sprague.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tracy. I love that guy.
Shout out to Tracy. Actually, I feel bad for something that happened between me and Tracy.
I love Tracy.
We can air it on the
He's
show.
great dude.
Like, do you want to air it on the show?
Yeah. What happened?
The problem is we signed up in like February for a suicide prevention show.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
They just
which
had
is
one.
actually
Was it the one that just happened?
Yeah, it was the one that just happened. Which is actually like a cause that's kind of close to my heart.
Yeah.
But like, he never confirmed with us for a year, and we sent him so many goddamn messages, and so we booked another show that night, and then that day he was like, "Hey, are you guys still playing this thing?" And it was like, "Dude, we tried to get you to confirm with us like 12 times."
I don't want to speak for him. What I heard is that he had tried to do that whole thing by himself,
Okay.
and he got overwhelmed.
That's fair. No, that's a fair point. And I'm not saying that I'll never work with Tracy again.
I can't say that's 100% the truth, but I'm like 80% sure that that's what happened. And that it just got kind of got out of control because it was a fuck ton of bands, and bands dropped off and bands got added on and all this kind of stuff. So.
But let's not use, I'm not trying to use this situation to diminish Tracy's influence in our metal scene. Like, Tracy does the absolute best he can at all times.
Yeah, Tracy's great.
Yeah, man,
Tracy's
like,
great.
Huge shout out. So you were trying to get him to manage you?
Yeah, and like the unfortunate, I don't know what exactly happened. Like we went down, we played at Reno's. It was like on a Tuesday night, so it was like, just an empty room pretty much,
Yeah.
Because like, who the fuck's gonna go to Reno's on a Tuesday,
Right.
And, we talked to him and he's like, yeah, he even said he was gonna like manage us like for free for like the first 6 months, just like, I guess like a show of faith or something, and
Right.
just nothing ever came of that. Like, he just radio silence after that almost. And I don't know what happened, but But shortly after that, like, I think maybe part of the reason was because he stopped working at Reno's, because I guess his plan was to book us at Reno's maybe.
Right.
But he stopped working there, or at least he told us he stopped working there because the owner wanted to have started making it pay to play. Which I think was short-lived, because I heard another story of the owner came up to a band who just played and was like, "Hey, all right, you want this much money?" And just
Look,
go fuck yourself.
I don't know if any promoters or bar owners actually listen to this show or not. I really don't, but I can tell you this right now. If you tell Diesel Beast that we have to give you money to play at your shit, you can go get fucked. We don't give a no, we're not doing that shit at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to complete this thought real quick. So we're trying to... Let's go down the list of the venues in the Denton area that punk metal bands can actually play at. So right now we've got J&J's, which is basement to J&J's Pizza. Great place to play.
Yeah, I love that venue.
Yeah,
so
love
much.
it. It's Andy's, but Andy's has turned really hard to book anything.
But your boy just landed a job at Randy's.
But I mean, heretofore, up to now, like, I really haven't seen them doing like metal or punk
shows. Not a lot. Like, we get a night every couple of months out of Andy's.
And so that one's there, but it's kind of like a little bit on the fence. Rubber Gloves, which had at one time been like a focal point of the underground scene, and then went away for a few years and just now came back.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I really need you guys out there in Warlord land to fucking ask Rubber Gloves to get heavy music in there, otherwise that's gonna be another venue.
And this is where people can make a difference, because if you show up to shows, if you blow up the social media and be like, yay, more metal, more punk, more underground crazy shit.
Blow up Jason Lee's Twitter. Just tell him more metal. You want more metal. That's all we need.
More metal.
Yeah.
I think that's so wild.
We lost Crown and Lion, which had previously been Abbey Underground, which we lost.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie, and this might be telling a little bit too much about me, but I did a little bit of and did karaoke the night before that place fucking closed down.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, maybe.
But is there any other place?
Is there still
Dan Silverleaf, but they do it's like the occasional metal show.
Mm-hmm.
really, I mean, we rely on house parties, Dallas and Fort Worth. And then, but out in Fort Worth, we were doing, everybody was starting to do shows out at the Tin Panther.
And that closed.
And then
the Rail Club is reopening, which is good.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I typically, and I have railed on this show about doing beer stores and shit like that before.
The one
Division, bro.
Well, let's get to that. But the one in Denton.
Yes.
What's that? Is it the Craft House, the Midway Craft House?
Midway Craft House, yeah.
That was a cool place to play. We played an acoustic set there. And had a blast where you just played like the beer aisle.
Yeah.
But I mean, they set up like a PA there, and it was a good time. Like I'm not above it, you know.
No, I'm not above it either. Though actually, I think the words I actually used were I'm above.
Nah. And then, is there? So you guys had previously done like like some shed shows up in Gainesville. Is there a venue? Maybe not in Gainesville.
Well, for what
but
I
just
always
in
heard,
the
like
area?
Great Hanging was famous for playing like this pool warehouse. Like that's what you.
Yeah, like the pool warehouse is just because like my family owns a pool business. We have a warehouse, and before the warehouse actually, the store before where we're at now. My mom, she's been in like physical fitness like my whole life pretty much, and like she started teaching yoga, and she had a yoga studio in the back.
Oh damn!
And we had 3 shows there at that yoga studio, which
hold up. You played like Great Hanging thrash metal in a yoga studio?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I mean,
like mirrors on the wall behind.
Yeah, it's like any aerobics room you ever see where it's just like one wall that's just lined up with mirrors.
Nice. Do you guys namaste at the end of the set?
Namaste.
I mean, like the room itself is just like it's just like a big room. It's got the mirrors, just some pads. We just take those up and just put them against the wall or whatever. But
nice.
so just like whenever like it's showtime or whatever, it just kind of looks like a big kind of open concrete room or whatever. But then you go into the bathroom and it's just like a very like zen, peaceful environment with like a glass sink with like some stones at the bottom.
Could
of
you
it.
imagine? No, I want you guys to imagine this. Like, say you're at Wits End and you just got out of like a fucking crop dust pit. You're all covered in sweat. You're bleeding. Like Abel's running around just like a pig.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those weird nights. And you walk into the bathroom. There's just like a tiny little pagoda in a fucking bonsai garden.
But it's cool because you can center yourself and then go back out there.
Just like When you're looking at the alcohol content of your 40, like you might have a bit of a problem.
No, a bit of a problem that you just need more alcohol.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like that's what I'm saying.
Right?
I started. Have y'all had those hard seltzers yet?
Wait, are you talking about like White Claw and shit?
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal with White Claw.
The only reason I say it just because
Hold on. Yeah.
it's just because it's a lot of those have like a lot of higher alcohol content than like something like this or something.
And I get that, but like White Claw still tastes like fucking somebody blew bubbles in my Zima with a straw.
I like every year for the last few years they had done. I don't think they will do it, but the outdoor thing with the axe throwing, the Diesel Beast would always play.
Oh, CCSD. Actually, believe it or not, I think we will be trying to throw the CCSD party at Rubber Gloves this year.
That'd be great. But anyway, it was this great festival that was set up pretty much like in somebody's yard. And it was this group of like beer drinkers, but they would set up and they'd have like a huge pit fire and they'd be serving like different like craft beers and there'd be axe throwing. It was very Viking oriented.
What they
and
did
it was always like the end of
they sold what you
fall.
did. You walked in and instead of playing like a cover or doing a donation, you had to buy a cup. And what you bought was a fucking horn drinking glass.
That's what I imagined, yeah.
And then as soon as you walk in, like they fill up your beers and you just get to keep going up to the bar.
And I have my horn still, but that's my point. Is I like to drink things as if I'm drinking it out of my horn. So like a nice stout beer, or like a heavy bodied beer, or like whiskey or bourbon.
I'm sure anything out of a horn just tastes better.
Yeah, but
actually, it really fucking does.
Like I'll skip the White Claw.
The thing about the hard seltzers is like, I get that it's highly alcoholic, but I need to still enjoy my drink.
Yeah, that's fair.
This just tastes like bubble water.
Right?
Yeah, if you're not into that, it's hard.
So let's circle back because we have a habit of asking questions and going all over the place. But tell us about the band's influences. I mean, that's always a really good question.
The question that I really wanted to ask.
I don't care what your question is. You can hold on to it.
Fucking serious, man.
Influences, real quick.
Yes.
I'm the main songwriter of the band, so most of the influence kind of comes through me. But whenever I write, I try to write. I always try to get everyone's input on it whenever I come to the band with a song. But I typically try to write for them, and parts that I know that they kind of like to play or similar, stuff like they're influenced by or whatever. Like, but for me, I guess there's a lot of Japanese bands. Like some of my favorites are X Japan and Sex Machine Guns.
Okay.
Galton Arias is another one, and just anything that's just a lot of fast, just double bass shit. A lot of visual K. That's sort of like my kind of guilty pleasure stuff.
So do you prefer, like for thrash, do you prefer kind of like the more melodic thrash? Because aren't those bands, they're more melodic than something like Exodus, Destruction, Sodom, that type of thing?
I will say this though, if you take those like weird keyboard and synth melodies, like if you take the pop element out of J metal, like it is really bare bones ass, just straight ass.
It's great, but there's a delineation of like there's like more melodic type thrash bands like Forbidden and stuff like that, and then there's more like aggressive like fuzzier toned like thrash bands, like I said, that lead towards more like Slayer and Sodom and Venom and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like it's fucking like. Slayer is one of those bands that like I don't think is very like melodic, but I just like I can't get enough of. Like I thought of this recently. Like if you like Slayer, I don't think you like metal. But like I kind of like honestly I kind of like I hate to be one of those because I like a little bit of everything. But I honestly I can find like any genre of music. I can find something to like.
We have actually talked about this on this show. There is a philosophy on this show because Craig and I are very devout metalheads, and but you can recognize quality without it necessarily being your cup of tea or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I can understand that. Like, hey man, like that's some pretty good shit. Not really my thing, but like there's fucking talent there.
And honestly too, like I've gotten that specific compliment before on The Great Hanging, like someone who's just more into like kind of like you said, more kind of aggressive, more kind of like slammier kind of I guess more like hardcore, I guess, or some
hardcore death metal.
And they're just like it's not my thing, but it's like I think y'all are great, and like that's just one of my favorite compliments to get because it's
Well, I mean, dude, I'm in Diesel Beast, like we get that shit quite often, actually. It's like, hey, you guys, I would never listen to you in a million years.
It's like our band and your band, like the only two bands
I know,
that have clean vocals at all. It's
we're because you guys have, I mean, you harsh it out a bit, but you have mostly clean vocals for The Great Hanging.
For the most part,
Which is, I mean, you and us and Infidel Rising. And those are the only three bands on the scene with fucking clean vocals. Like, that's us.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, yours are a little bit more raspy and, like, badass.
Well, thank you. I try to have, like, just more of a range, of, like, just being able to kind of do just different, I can hit those, high, heavy metal notes, and then, just do something that's, more, I guess, like a traditional scream or something. Just so it's, it's not like I'm just not like a one trick, but like that's the gimmick of the band is he can hiss,
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's like so many bands out there where like I've with some of the more like modern thrash that's coming out now. I'm kind of seeing, I forget what bands exactly, but I've seen a few bands that are like that where it's just like they're just throwing it in there just because it just seems more just like they're just doing it because they can, not for like this would be good for it.
To actually build the song.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. So, okay, before we take a break, because I need a cigarette soon.
No, we got time.
We're hitting it there. But, well, no, this is going to be a good one, though. I have been accused, and I feel like this is a big thing.
Allegedly.
No, I've definitely been accused. When I wear Great Hanging shirts, it is a racism thing.
It is not a racism thing.
It is not a racism thing, and I would like you to tell the story of what the fuck it actually is so people stop bashing on my fucking awesome shirt.
So, just something to add to that real quick. The first time that we got shirts, it was one of those corporation shows.
Yeah.
Where it's like you sell 10 tickets and you get $1 per ticket. Sell 20, you get $2 per ticket.
Yeah,
One of those.
Go fuck
It's like some corporation out of like Ohio or some shit that's like, we want to build the Dallas metal community. It's like, sure you do.
Right.
But it was a big show. We ended up we played at the Door, and it was gonna be.
It's a good show though. That's a good venue.
Yes.
I mean, it's a good venue.
It's a profit bar's better.
Yeah, well, I'll give you that.
But no, yeah, we're just gonna be all those people there. It's gonna be like our biggest show yet. Like we need to get some T-shirts printed. We just went on the font and just made something up real quick.
Right.
And we just had these great hanging shirts, and it's, we're just sitting there at our table, and that's the only thing we have on our table. This black guy comes up and he just looks down, looks up, and just walks off. He's like,
No, because if you haven't seen, go online, try and look up the Great Hanging shirt. We'll do a link or something to get to their merch later. But it says the Great Hanging in this sweet ass font, and it's dripping with blood and shit. And then there's this noose coming off the bottom of the logo.
yeah, that was done by Mind Killer Inc. They'll come up on Facebook.
So shout out to
really
Mind
fucking
Killer
great.
Inc.
So what's the story behind the title of the band?
So the Great Hanging, that's some.
This is American history.
Yeah, this is actually, it's from local Gainesville. We're from Gainesville. It's taken from Gainesville history. The Great Hanging was a Civil War event that.
Again, not helping your cause here, Jake.
Well, no. Just hear me out. It's not necessarily considered to be what started it, but I guess kind of like the kickoff almost.
Yeah.
Where Confederate armies going around and they're trying to draft people because their army's so fucking shit, right? And they're going around all these people, and there's all these people who just either they don't want to fight, they don't believe in the cause, or maybe they just need to farm and live off the land to support their family or whatever, right? And so they're just like, yeah, no, I'm not joining the army or whatever. And then they were all of those people who said no or tried to get away or whatever, they were labeled as traitors, Union sympathizers, or something like that. So they gathered up 42 of them and hung 40 of them, and 2 of them were shot trying to escape. So our name kind of comes from that. And
essentially in Gainesville, it's one of the biggest lynches in history, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it all happened because Gainesville, basically, they were like, hey man, you north or south? And Gainesville was like, fuck you, we're fucking living.
Pretty much,
they got hung for it.
Just trying to get by.
Yeah, I didn't know the story behind that, but I always just assumed that it was a reference to the Old West, because it's that was the common form of capital punishment is hanging. They'd have the public square where people would show up and there'd be hangings and stuff like that. So to me, I never saw a link to anything racist. Now I know that some people are super sensitive about everything, but I would argue it's don't back down from it and be it doesn't have that connotation and fuck off.
No, I've had to do it because I'm not gonna lie, dude. I wear my Great Hanging shirt all the fucking time. It's one of my favorite shirts in my entire collection.
Hopefully we'll have some new ones at some point.
I have straight up had people kind of come up, looked at me, and and I'm like, is this really the most offensive shirt I own? Because I feel like I own a lot more offensive shirts than this one. I don't know what your fucking problem is.
I'll bring out my Jesus is a cunt shirt. Don't make me.
Oh man.
It's our bass player John.
Who does your nails? Fuck you.
He wore a Cannibal Corpse shirt.
Entrails ripped from Virgin's cunt.
I think so too.
No, I had a girl break up with me for wearing that shirt.
He wore that shirt.
That's metal.
When he went to the hospital, whenever whenever a friend of his kids was born.
Yes.
And
although
that,
to be fair, he probably should have worn dying fetus.
That's true. I accidentally, without even thinking, went and picked my kid up from school the other day in this Exodus shirt that's got big ass fucking 666 across his Satan's skull. And I could not figure out why all the soccer moms were so mad at me. So I got back in my car and I looked down and I was just like,
You have to be careful with those metal shirts sometimes, because you just put them on and you're just am I walking around with titties on my shirt or something?
That happens to me all the time. I don't ever think about it. I just reach into my closet and pull out a clean shirt, and it's either going to be metal or horror. And
it is definitely going to be black though.
It's colors are for the weak.
For sure.
But then I'll just be like randomly about my day and getting like death stares from old women or at the post office or something like that. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I got my goat horse shirt on.
I don't even think about it. I'm just like, yeah, I like this band.
I'm like,
every
what?
time I look down, I'm like, that is.
I'm like, this band rips. You know, like,
Yeah.
like what?
I was like, this is a nun licking an abbot's ass.
Right.
I see where you're coming
Right.
from. I apologize.
Sometimes I freaked them out too. I'm like, you don't like them? And they're just like,
I like Elton John. Why can't you like my shit?
so where you guys are in Gainesville, it's tougher for you guys to get down to Dallas. I mean, you have done it and you can do it,
But it's hard to get people to Dallas.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah. Unless they're already there. Or
Where
something.
do you guys? What area do you guys play most of your shows? Is it Denton?
We'd probably like to play Denton more often. Like Denton's so like if at least whenever we started, it felt really cliquey, sort of. You know what I mean? And like
it is.
At least whenever we started, it's like the people who I was like I guess introduced to first were I'm not sure if y'all know the bands Rivid, Megatherion, and Fierce Band.
No, actually, I'm gonna tell you right this. As a member, a heavy hitter on the Denton metal scene,
Right.
those fuckers aren't around anymore.
No, I know that none of those bands are around anymore, but
That's who you first came in contact with.
yeah, like I had a friend in Gainesville who knew people down there, and that's kind of how I got introduced to all that, and like that, and sort of like the I guess more of like the punk scene too a little bit, which is fuck. I love the punk, punk shows.
Scene, and the Denton punk scene has always been all over the fucking place, though. Like you can show up sounding like They Might Be Giants, and people will fucking start a mosh pit.
Oh, dude, yeah, like it's. I remember it's being at a show in a park.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they're playing like this kind of, this funky kind of, punk song or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just like, just this pretty song that's just like, just all these open chords, and the girls singing down, it's just all just like, ah, and everyone's like, we're just gonna do just like this really comfy mosh pit or whatever, it's just like really slow, just kind of like a, it's cool, but
I will say this, and you guys can attest to this, Denton has, I mean, like, 30 people will show up to your show if you're on the right bill. Like, no problem. You can pack that house out, no problem. But man, unless you got like the right couple of dudes in the front row, there is no pit in them. They don't do that. They like stand there and watch the music. You know what I mean? Which is awesome because they're enjoying your band, but at the same time, it's like, man, fucking somebody throw an elbow.
This isn't jazz. Move.
Shout out to Robert Duffy for always throwing an elbow.
But no, like the reason I said that I kind of agree that Denton's a little cliquey is just because when we first broke into Denton, a decade ago, it was real tough to get a show in Denton because at the time like it was just like kind of like a wasteland for metal. And then when we started playing there, we got a lot of confused looks, and it wasn't until we aggressively came back and back and back and just like wouldn't back down, and then we gradually started to get this kind of like consistent group of like misfits that would show up and be like, you guys are weird and cool and we like you, and we were like, yeah, you guys are weird and cool, and so and from there, like slowly chipping away at it, we met like I Am Man, I Am Monster, and you guys, and Monopolizer, and other bands and stuff like that, and then at that point we had this like group of friends that we would go and we could trade fans and stuff like that. But at first
it was weird.
It was definitely like, well, Denton is not a metal town, and here's this like crazy demon band like screaming "Your mother sucks cocks in hell" in their face, and
that's my favorite part of your set. No, it's because I mean we played with both the Great Hanging and Silver Tongue Devil very early off in the metal scene, and because Denton's metal scene has always been there, but it's kind of like blown up a little bit in the last I'd say 4 years or so.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, and this is a little bit of a humble brag, like I feel like Diesel Beast was the one that kind of bridged that gap a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you like regular music, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's metal.
I think that's I think one of the stronger suits about both of our bands is that it doesn't appeal to just metal. Like there's so many like DFW bands that are just like just the lowest vocals tuned down to drop Z, fucking whatever, right? And it's just pure fucking death metal, right? Yeah. And then our stuff is more melodic, more I guess reminiscent of the good old days.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, like, here's what I say. Like, I don't care what genre of metal you play, as long as you fucking do it well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can do it well, then we have a show. You know what I mean? Because we get thrown on the bill with like, and even Silver Tongue Devil, like you could call them a death metal band, but you'd be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. I don't know how to explain. I have to tell people sometimes how you sound on stage, Craig. And I'm just like, I don't know.
They're like the only band in the scene that does like acoustic shows. I still think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, we just do our own thing. I mean, it's we are friends with and love like a wide variety of bands, and we're very lucky that we can play on like straight up brutal death metal shows or play like thrash metal shows, punk shows, and all that kind of stuff. But we're always kind of like the outcasts that like don't fit, and we embrace it. Like that's totally cool with us, and a lot of people like respond to it, and then some people don't at all, and we're cool with that too.
Yeah, so. I feel like the Great Hanging is the same way. I feel like the Great Hanging.
We get put on so many just weird fucking bills, and we somehow fit in. And there's some that are weird
because
that
you don't say again like. Actually, this is something I can boast about everybody in this room. Our three bands don't sound like anybody else's band on the scene.
I would agree.
I would agree. Just like, I mean, you got Craig doing his fucking, I call them elevator vocals, and that sounds like a dig, but that's not what I mean. But you're just like way down the fuck here, and then you're way up here, and it's like, it's fucking amazing. And then, you do this really good job of mixing, like, not harsh vocals, but like clean melodic singing.
With power.
With power, and with like balls, you know what I mean? And then like Decent Beast does, we drive a Camaro through Narnia, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. But like, I don't know, it's weird, because we always get lumped in with like, there's a lot of like brutal death metal, there's a lot of doom popping up. You notice that lately?
Oh yeah. Well, absolutely. Like the doom scene's a real big scene, and what's funny is that not even that much in Dallas, but if you go like out of Dallas, if you go to like Austin or Houston or San Antonio or places like that, it is fucking enormous.
Yeah.
Like it is like fucking enormous. That's why I've told us like you guys should plug into that circuit, not because you guys are a doom stoner band, but it's because it's because you guys would complement that scene, and it's so like right now like big and entrenched that like you guys could easily plug into like tours and festivals and all that kind of stuff.
But I feel like the Great Hanging is among a similar strain. You know what I mean? Like. You guys, there's a lot of thrash influence in there, of course. There's even some hardcore influence in there, of course. There's some punk influence in there, of course.
That punk influence, that comes straight from like just being introduced to those punk shows, because those punk shows, they'll get so wild, and it's such a fun time, honestly. Like even like those are some of my favorite shows to play. Is whenever we played at J&J's last year.
I was there. I was at that show.
Yeah. And with Shooting Czars was there.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Randall.
Oh, like it's just punk crowds are like the best crowds. I think we've played.
I'll actually give you that, because like metalhead crowds, like if they're not like super ramped up, like they won't. Like they'll enjoy it, but then punk crowds, like they don't give a fuck, dude. Like you sound check and a punk dude is throwing bottles at you. You know what I mean? Like
we played one of our shows in Gainesville. There was a dude there who's sort of like an older dude who was used to be kind of in the punk scene or whatever, and then like we're in the middle of one of our songs and my mic stand gets knocked over because that dude's doing fucking kick flips in the pit, right? Like legitimately, like the skateboard comes and like hits my fucking mic stand, knocks it down, and just like Fuck yeah, brother.
Get it.
Where are we at on time? Because I'm desperately dying for a cigarette.
All right, well, we'll take a break.
All right.
And inject some nicotine into
When we
the
get
system.
back, we're going to get more back into the great hanging, but I'm going to tell you guys about this fucking thing I did where I split bit blood all over a contract.
Okay.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Oh, wait. Before we do that, do you guys have recorded material?
We do have recorded material.
So
we don't care how lo-fi or whatever the fuck it sounds like.
You're gonna send me a song and we're gonna play it here at the break.
Okay.
What song are we going to have everybody listen to?
What's the first one? You're not on the spot at all.
Yeah, you get 2 songs to play during the show, and we'll play
songs?
one here at the break.
First song. Nobody's ever heard the great hanging before. No pressure.
Let me think real quick. Alright, the first song is gonna be, both of these songs that we play are probably going to be re-recorded. We're actually about to go in the studio here pretty soon.
Right. So this is the
raw demo.
The raw demo. Yeah.
Yeah, we did an EP in 2014, our Power Thrash EP. That's the
You
CD
fucking guys hear that though? Like Warlord Radio is not giving you fucking polished studio bullshit. We're giving you raw track demos, motherfucker.
So this true shit.
True shit.
Is I guess the first track we'll go into is usually the song that we close with, our song Cataclysm.
There you
Cataclysm. So this one is Cataclysm by the Great Hanging.
Motherfucker.
We will be right back. I need tobacco.
This is Jake Liger from The Great Hanging, and you're listening to... I forgot it already.
Dude, too late. That's it.
That's the one you already fucking
We're back.
Oh, we are back?
That was Cataclysm by The Great Hanging.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
We are very blessed today to be here, joined by Jake Pearson, if you caught this in the middle of a Harry Rock radio broadcast.
Right?
But Jake Pearson is of The Great Hanging out of Gainesville.
Yes.
He has a very different set of troubles than the rest of us, and that is there is no fucking where to play in Gainesville.
Do you guys play in Oklahoma at all?
We haven't in a while. Our first couple of shows, we actually played at a park in Ardmore.
Okay.
You guys would kill though, like the Blue Note or something like that. Like, yeah.
Other than that,
Or
like
the conservatory or any of those places?
we've played like really.
Or the Railhead in Lawton? Fuck
No,
yeah, dude.
We went on tour in.
Shout out to Miss K.
What?
Yes.
Shout out to Miss K. Big shout out to Miss K.
Is that the Asian lady that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love her so much.
Yeah.
Dude, she's so great.
K
She
is the
gives
shit.
the biggest beers.
Yeah.
She gives you fucking sweet hugs, and then like she runs that place like a straight up 80s metal club. And it's just like the bands make the money. Like it's.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's fucking.
That stage was like one of the coolest stages I've ever played on.
Yeah.
Where, like it goes up over the monitors.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
Was that the night I drank all the moonshine
Yeah,
with that dude?
in the parking lot.
Yeah, man.
Guy-
I could have set my breath on fucking
A
fire.
guy comes up to us with a mason jar and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to try my moonshine?" Like,
Fuck yeah, dude.
sure.
Sure.
And it was good.
Whenever I was there, we showed up, and it's like our manager at the time told us, we had to be there at 5, and the venue didn't even open until like 10 or some shit. So we show up and we're just like, what the fuck do we do now? So we just go to the end of the street, just look both ways. There's a liquor store down there. We're going over there.
Right.
We go by just like the cheap, like I found a beer I've never seen anywhere else. It's called Boxer.
Uh-huh.
And it was like a 30 pack for like $10. And I'm like, yeah, we're getting it.
Yeah.
And that lasted us like the whole tour. But like, we take it back, we get that, like some little tiny things of whiskey or whatever, and we go back to the van, and I just chill in the van drinking beers, and I drink so much I pass out, wake up sober,
It happens.
get drunk again, and then all right, it's time to play. Let's fucking rock and roll, man.
So where did you guys go on your tour?
Oh man, it's like our tour was kind of scuffed.
As most tours are.
It was our very first tour, and I don't want to speak any more ill will of our manager because I feel like we may have been a little immature in the situation. But we had to go from like San Marcos, which is like over by San
Yeah.
Antonio.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
been
think
there.
we've all played in San Marcos, right?
We drove down
Yeah.
from Gainesville to San Marcos,
Damn.
back up to Gainesville, so then we could, day 2 we could go to Wichita Falls,
Fuck.
which we played at a
That was not played well.
You played a strip
we
club?
played at a strip club called
Dude,
the Knicks.
all right,
It
I don't-
was really cool until the end of the night because the promoter was just the biggest fucking prick,
I'm gonna say this right
and
now.
he tried to run us over.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all because but it's like this is a hot take from Carrick. I have played many a strip club. They are never good shows. They're fun because there's lots of half-naked chicks around, but then like at the end of the night, it always gets shady as fuck. I watched a dude bear mace himself.
Oh.
At a street. The guy was standing on the hood of his car, punching him in the face. So he aimed his bear mace up in the air, shot it, and a gust of wind just blew that shit right back into his eyes.
Right.
And I was just like, I think we made $80 tonight.
Right.
That one, that whole strip club thing was pretty sketch. Like at the end of it, like this dude was weird. I don't even know how to explain that. But we went from there. We went to Lawton, played the Railhead, which was probably the best stop we went on tour. And then,
Lawton is, and I don't care, like, dude, I don't care if you're Lamb of God or if you're fucking Combat. Fuck you, Combat. We love you. You need to stop off in Lawton. Like, that's where metalheads congregate. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that, the Miss K's place is just fucking kind of amazing. It's a spot out of time.
It's just a little oasis where there's nothing else around. There's not another rock or punk club for over 100 miles.
I'll say it's one of the best metal clubs I've ever played.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like that. Like everything's just set up really nice there. Nothing, you know, like. No,
Plus
like
the beers are so big, you guys. They give you big ass beers.
Yeah, from there we drove 10 hours to St. Louis and it wasn't booked.
Also, is it weed legal in Oklahoma now?
Yes.
Medicinal. You have to have a card, I think.
Yeah, you have to have a card.
I think you just have to know somebody with a card. That was my experience in Colorado.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you have to go in and say that you can't sleep or you have anxiety.
Stop off at Miss Kay's place in Lawton because there's legal weed and moonshine. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I grew up in Oklahoma, and I tell you what, I never saw that Oklahoma would legalize before Texas. Did not see that one coming.
Have you heard that Texas is throwing out like minor marijuana laws though?
Yeah. I've heard about that, yeah.
There's this weird loophole that I learned about where, so if you get busted with a little bit of pot, what you're supposed to do is claim that it's a legal amount of hemp, which is legal in Texas.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then it comes down to the DA.
It's just some physical CBD, baby.
Exactly. Well, the DA gets like this paperwork that's like, we have to send this 1/4 of a gram of weed off to a lab somewhere and prove that it's not legal hemp, which costs thousands of dollars for this guy's $400 ticket. So fuck it.
Not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Like I roll around a little freer now.
There you go.
I do want to say one more thing about the tour though. We went to a few other places. There's nothing really noteworthy, but we went to Fort Indiana and we got to stop by Sweetwater. That was cool.
Nice.
Sweetwater's a really cool place. If you ever, it's like just a big music store that's set up in just like this the night like. You almost go in and like, I don't know if I'm dressed nice enough to be in here, you know?
Yeah, and I've been in places like that.
But we stopped in Arkansas, or it was our last stop on the tour.
Where at? Like Hot Springs or?
So we
was it North Little Rock?
It was in Little Rock. We played it.
Oh shit! Was it North Little Rock?
I don't know. I don't remember where it is, but
North Little Rock is to Little Rock what Denton is to Lake Dallas, and what I mean by that is deep rat tail and meth country.
There you go.
I mean, honestly, like that whole trip was just just boozed out, right? So it's just like
a haze.
Almost like. Go to bed drunk in one state, wake up drunk in another.
Right.
And so it's just like a sense of exactly where you are, right? It's kind of weird. I remember like on our last day, I woke up and we're coming back from Arkansas, and I'm like, where are we? Like, oh, we're just coming into Denton. How the fuck did we miss Gainesville, guys? Like, what the hell?
Right. Yeah.
But
we passed it. Like.
Anyway, back to Arkansas. We played in Little Rock, Arkansas, in a place called Fino's. It's a pizza shop with a venue. It's if Reno's was a pizza shop, basically. Like how they're set up, just that. And that was a really cool place. And like Arkansas, where we played in Arkansas, because we actually played in Arkansas a year later. I forget what town. It's just a few miles away at this metal record shop. Mm-hmm. I wish I remember the name. It's metal something. I'm pretty sure.
North Bluff or no Pine Bluff.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyway,
I know 3 towns in Arkansas. That's what I got.
It's just south of Little Rock, but yeah, the store's like metal something. I don't know. It's just a big metal record shop, and like I gotta say, like fucking the Arkansas scene fucking turns up, man.
Oh no,
they show the fuck up. That was one of the best crowds we played, not just on tour, but almost in general.
Okay, so I've talked about this before. I don't know if you've heard this, but I played a Juggalo gathering in Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where all the rat tail and meth is.
Yeah.
And that was one of the most insanely packed shows I've ever been to in my life. At one point, I looked down and there was like 9 people fucking in a car, and all of them had clown makeup on. I was like, I don't know what's going on right now.
Dude, you guys should sell so much Diesel Beast merch. You should do it, man.
Diesel Beast won't do it. That was a short bus thing, and we don't talk about short bus on this show.
Too late. We already have. You've told me yes.
Oh my god.
What is Short Bus?
Short Bus.
You can tell me about it later if you want to.
Short Bus is his rap side project.
Oh no! Hell yeah!
former rap. But no, we had big fake dicks and did all of our songs were about either violence or sex, and it was the most juvenile shit ever.
So you fit in perfectly at the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh no, dude. Okay, if I sounded like I was disparaging
No.
the time at the
No. But what I'm saying is like you guys fit in perfectly on that bill.
No, we absolutely fit in perfectly on that bill. It made absolute sense that Short Bus was at a gathering of juggalos. It really did. I will tell you this
Sounds
about
like a band name
juggalos.
that would be a gathering.
Yes.
Juggalos know how to fucking party.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
All right, I don't know if you've had the pleasure, but Craig and I, on several occasions, had to drink with Serbian metalheads.
Yes.
Serbian metalheads are a different breed.
Okay.
Like there's rituals involved. They sing sometimes, and they mix liquor like fucking crazy. Like, all right, this one's tequila, this one's vodka, this one's rum, and I'm like, that's how you die.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Juggalo gatherings are very similar. It's like, hey, just dump whatever liquor into this Fago, and then I'm probably gonna let you lick my girl's knee.
Right.
Like that's how a fucking gathering of the Juggalos goes down. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, I digress. I'm gonna go fucking do this thing. Keep the conversation moving.
Okay. So, what are some of the favorite bands that you guys have played with? Do you guys have like a group of bands that you normally trade shows with?
Shows that, are, I don't know if I've said it on this or not yet, but, we just, our second guitar player left.
Right. Well,
in November of last year.
You didn't say that. You had mentioned that you're looking for a new one.
Yes.
So
he had left. We're looking for a new one. We have a few people in mind, but it's still it's Gainesville. It's still hard to kind of. And plus, too, like just life shit kind of gets in the way every now and then.
Right.
But so like lately, it's been a little sparse, but so I can't think of like too many bands that have kind of that we've recently played with. I think. Let's see, Diesel Beast is definitely one that I think we fit really well together.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Brutality.
Yep.
Brutality.
Right.
Is the way they spell it.
Yep.
Are they still doing stuff or?
Not to my knowledge.
Because I know they're I know Richard Dale, their guitarist. He's in Ethereal. I think it's their band name now.
Yeah, but I don't think they're doing anything either.
Oh really?
To my knowledge. I don't know exactly. But to my knowledge, I don't think either band is doing anything.
Wait, are you talking about Sathrael?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how you pronounce
by the way,
that
I'm
name?
back. Remember we did Sonar Lights. He's the drummer for Sathrael, and apparently they just cut an album, right?
I don't know.
Where he was painted all gold and weird.
Yeah, that came out like a
You
couple
don't remember
years ago.
this story at all? No, this was like a month ago. I'm not trying to be dick, sorry.
No, that's cool.
No, you don't remember their drummer? We had this whole story about this man painting himself gold.
No, that not for Sathariel. He had a different band.
Oh, okay. That's my mistake.
So, to my knowledge, Sathariel's drummer bailed on him.
To join Sonar Lights?
No. He just bailed on him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. He moved away and didn't tell anybody.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
It's a shit thing to do as a drummer.
I mean, it's hard to say. I'm not trying to spread rumors. That's what I heard. Okay.
Fair enough. But I'm telling you, if you're a drummer out there and you just bail on your band, you're a dickbag.
I heard from someone in the know
so bad
that they got kind of stranded. So, to my knowledge, is they're not doing anything right now.
Okay.
So.
Interesting. Sorry, did not mean to derail the
No, that's fine,
conversation.
that's
It's all good. I was just asking him if he had a group of bands that they normally played with,
Well,
traded shows, that type of thing.
we played with you 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, just a few times. I was telling him I think we fit together really well.
We do. Yeah.
I mentioned Brutality too, and then they're not really kind of doing much, I guess. But
Brutality is kind of like Shaolin Death Squad, and where they're if you could book a show with them, it's going to be a fucking full ass show, but they don't do it very often.
we used to play with Monogamizer a lot.
Yeah.
Whenever I guess it was the original 3-piece.
And you were in Monogamizer for a bit, correct?
So
Tell us about that.
They were having some issues with their guitar player Zach. I don't want to like go too much.
We don't have to go.
I've heard some things more recently, but this isn't to do with that.
I think everybody in the metal scene knows a little bit about what went on with Monogamizer and Zach, so we don't have to dwell on that.
I heard that Randall's just a dick and it's hard to work with.
That's true. Randall, you're a dick and you work stiff and you can't cut promos for shit.
That's right.
He did kick me out of that band.
Did he do it like the Macho Man or something? He's like, brother, I'm standing on top of the mountain and you're down at the summit. Yeah. Sorry.
That's a good Macho Man.
Thank you.
It didn't quite like that. It was over like text or some shit. I don't remember. I'll get to that in a minute. Just I'll go over the whole art.
Are you kidding? No, here's the deal about Warlord Radio. I am such good friends with Monogamizers that you can sit there on that couch and bag on them for an hour and
fuck you, Randall.
Still gonna put that shit on the internet. Like I don't give a fuck.
But anyway, so they were having some issues with Zach. He wasn't. I guess they kind of. A thing happened to him. He got kicked out.
Yeah.
And we played so many shows with them, and he just asked me. It was like, hey, do you want to? We need someone. We're playing a show. Actually, we actually played a show together, and that was my first show with them. And I was just, at first I was just thinking it's just going to be like a fill-in thing or something, just because what Zach was doing at the time is, like. He does his own thing in that band, almost.
Well, and I will say this about like anybody that ever has, because a Monogamizer kind of has a bit of a shifting lineup issue sometimes.
Yeah.
But like the best thing about Monogamizer is that you kind of get to bring your own thing to the table in a band like that.
I can see that totally.
Yeah.
But like whenever, because I was only in the band for I want to say just a couple of months, and. Just kind of what I was doing was just more or less just kind of matching what Randall was doing on guitar as opposed to doing, more of the ambient stuff.
So you were playing guitar?
Yes, I was on guitar. And I would say...
What kind of guitar, Jake?
I have a 2007 black and white Gibson Explorer.
Fuck yeah, you do. Sorry, anyway.
It honestly, like... It sounded like if anyone, if y'all or anyone else caught, sort of like their last couple of shows.
Yeah.
I forget what their new guitarist's name was, but Alex.
Yeah.
It sounded a little bit closer to that almost, where it was more of just more straight to the point a little bit, more almost raw, more just straight up metal as opposed to being more of like a progressive metal kind of band,
and you get
with a lot of ambience and stuff.
Right.
Because they were like, during this part, I want you to do like some, some just ambient guitar stuff, and I'm like looking down on my guitar pedal, my pedal board, I'm just like, dog, I just have a chorus pedal. Like, I don't know how much I'm gonna really do here, man.
Here's an F.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say this about Randall, like.
Besides, he's terrible at promos.
Besides the fact that he's terrible at promos and he works too stiff, what I will say about Randall Day is that whatever Randall Day has going on with Monogamizer is a very specific vision. You know what I mean? And so, like, no, it seems loose-ended, but, like, he's doing something in his head. He's like, whatever you think there's going to be a fucking metal breakdown, we're going to do a reggae breakdown. Like... Whatever he's doing, it's his own thing, and I respect him for that. But like, I couldn't be a Monogamizer. Could you?
I'm not handsome enough.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Actually, I think all of us just not handsome enough to be in Monogamizer.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I think that's what it is. We're just not all handsome enough to be in Monogamizer.
That's pretty much what it is.
Fuck you, Randall, for your unrealistic beauty standards.
Yeah, dick. Anyway, back to Great Haney.
Yeah.
So, you guys did the tour. It was kind of a cluster, but it was a good experience.
Yeah.
Overall. And then, do you guys have like any, besides looking for your second guitar player, do you have any plans for the immediate future?
Right now, we were supposed to start recording. I want to say probably maybe like a couple weeks to a month ago or something. But just life stuff, financials, just kind of just shit comes up and you just can't.
Shit,
yeah. And so hopefully we'll start getting to that in a couple of months.
Right.
We're gonna record, have a full album.
Do you have like a studio and everything, or?
Yeah, we're actually. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the band The Worst Intentions.
No.
I believe they're from Denton.
I don't know.
The other guys in my band, they actually work with the lead singer of that band.
Cool.
And him and his guitarist, they own a studio, and they're kind of studio and stuff. And we've heard some stuff from them, and it sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think also in that band, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the band I Wrestled a Bear Once. I think the bass player.
The
bass player is in that band too.
The hot take, like, I am not real big on like metalcore.
Yeah, I'm not really either, but I just know.
But I do think that is one of the greatest band names I've ever heard in my life. I Wrestled a Bear Once. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? That's great.
That was such a good name for that era.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like that sort of like early internet,
Like the Joffrey
MySpace,
Cowboy,
early
Pig
YouTube
Destroyer,
era.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they're a good band for sure. Like, again, quality over like typically my cup of tea. Like, pretty much straight up metalcore, but
Yeah, I'm not
good,
super
fucking good.
That, but yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail all that.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So,
So you, like, theoretically, you guys want to knock out a full-length album. You have songs like. How many songs do you guys have? Like
you've been together.
Like how
did
deep is your
together?
set? I know you all can play like, normally like 30-40 minutes. But
Yeah.
Could you play an hour if you needed to?
Actually, we played our second guitarist / show, or rhythm guitarist / show, was last November, where we played at a brewery in Nocona. Nocona is about an hour. Yeah, about an hour-ish, like west of Gainesville.
Okay.
Which is a weird fucking place to have a show because it's an hour away from
west of Gainesville. That's like almost Oklahoma, like.
Almost, yeah, but and it's like Wichita Falls is like an hour and a half away from that too.
Right.
So it's like there's like no like it's a really small town. There just happens to be like there's like a historic like boot factory or something that was like from that town or whatever, and then it's converted into like this big fucking brewery. Where he's like, the guy told us like he has like so much beer. He's like, yeah, I could feed like I could like give like the entire state of Texas beer for like a couple of months on this. And it's like, god damn, that's nuts. But we played this brewery, and we played like we kind of did the cover band thing because money,
Right.
Money's,
Oh yeah.
And we played.
We don't hit on that on this show. Yeah, we don't hate for that.
We played 3 45s.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was.
So what kind of covers did you do?
We did a lot of Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Nice.
Some Ozzy. We did the least Motorhead sounding Motorhead song. We did Hellraiser.
I like that song.
Yeah.
I like that song too, but you are accurate.
Yeah, that is not like when you think of the sound of Motorhead, you don't think of Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I like the song.
I do too.
We did Mr. Crowley. We were talking about that a second ago.
Nice.
That bass line, dude. Okay, nobody will let me cover Mr. Crowley, but I learned that entire organ part on bass.
You know an underrated Ozzy song that I love that I think that Diesel Beast would do an amazing job at because it starts with a badass bass lead. Is Believer.
Oh fuck, dude.
Down, 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 down. Yeah, dude. It's so sick, man.
Dude, no, we've been doing. I'm not trying to derail this, but okay, we're doing. For anybody that doesn't know, on October 27th at Andy's, Diesel Beast is playing a set as Black Sabbath. We are playing a Black Sabbath.
So jealous, man.
Set.
It's like one of my favorite bands of all time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Legit my favorite band of all time. I have said that many times, but What's cool about it is like, man, I'm really getting to like delve into Geezer Butler bass lines.
Dude.
And
It's insane, isn't it?
He's so fucking good.
Oh, he's the man.
Like, it's
He's the man.
sloppy a little bit. It's a little bit like maybe not the most refined thing ever, but it's like the fills are perfect. Like, he's basically like if Paul McCartney drank lean, that's what Geezer Butler would sound like.
Oh, way better. I mean, it's so good. Yeah.
Something I think is like super cool about him is like, or I found out more recently, is like during, War Pigs was one of the first songs that I learned on guitar.
Me too.
Because like I wanted to be, someone who sings and plays guitar, and that's the easiest song in the world to fucking sing.
Generals gathered in their masses.
It's so easy to sing and play at the same time, so I picked that one first, And I just played it, and then eventually later on I looked into the bass line because like we were thinking about covering it, and I was just like, he's playing his own solo during the guitar solo, and it's just fucking wild. It is because it's like, how does that sound good?
Yeah, he was never just like playing roots and following the guitar.
Yeah.
Like every song, he's basically doing like his own lead. I mean, that's the thing about Sabbath is it's like what everybody's doing is not like the norm, because it's like Tony Iommi's writing the most crushing riffs ever.
Seriously.
Like, Geezer Butler is doing bass leads basically the entire song, but they fit.
Yeah.
And then Bill Ward is not just playing on the downbeat, he's playing on the offbeat.
Film master.
And
everything has like its own like place.
It fits together.
And then
like
you got Ozzy out there like high on whiteout or whatever the fuck. Just like, let's get fucking crazy.
But as much as people know Ozzy for that, like they don't. I feel that they don't respect enough his vocals, because his vocals on those first 6 Sabbath albums are amazing.
The key,
yes, Dio is a better, more technical singer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
and Heaven and Hell was a fucking great album.
Yes, and Mob Rules and Dehumanizer. But those first 6 Sabbath albums, the work that Ozzy does is amazing.
In my opinion, what Ozzy did even better than Dio was he knew how to vocally make a melody line that complemented Tommy's guitar.
Yeah.
Because the guitar, we can all agree the guitar is the strongest aspect of Black Sabbath, correct?
Yes.
All right, so... And Tommy's guitar is going like...
I don't know, maybe drums.
Maybe.
I just think that, like, to me, Sabbath is one of those very few bands, like Rush might be another one, but where every person in the band is contributing something that only that person could do.
Yes,
I agree.
And, it is, just like Rush too. It's like you listen to it and it's like, well, it has to be that guy or has to be that guy. And the same thing with Sabbath is, the totality of what they do is better than the sum of their parts.
Yes.
Is that you can say that somebody might be a better bass player, somebody might be a better guitar player, but those guys together had some kind of special alchemy that just created something that to this day doesn't sound like anybody else.
Bill Ward was this like weird jazz drummer, right? And then Geezer.
Yes, but and then again is he brought this inhuman power to drumming that's not in jazz drumming.
No.
It is like he had that kind of timing. But he had this just inhuman power of, if you watch like live video, he's beating the fuck out of
a lot of metalheads will hate me for this, but I've said this for years. Bill Ward can best be described as Ringo turned up to 11.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like Ringo, not
playing what needs to be played.
Exactly. Not a fantastic drummer.
I know exactly what you mean.
But like the perfect drummer for said sound.
Yes.
And then better than Ringo significantly. Like,
well, I would agree with that, but my only point would be is I think that Bill Ward is a legit great drummer. Like I think like.
Oh no, I get you, but this is the same way that like I believe that Alice Cooper is a legit great artist, but Arthur Brown is also cool.
Right.
Did you go to the End of the World tour?
I did not go to the End of the World tour.
You did? That was
saw
such
them,
a good damn show.
I don't think so. We saw them. It was me and our drummer Michael. We went to go see Sabbath in the Woodlands, which is a long fucking drag of just trees at one point.
Oh yeah, been there.
And like the level of music, like you don't expect the level of musicianship, I guess, from it's an older band, they're all a bunch of older guys, it's 70s bands, it's a little bit more loose or whatever, right? Or at least you kind of feel that way or whatever. And like the most impressive thing that night that we saw was like Ozzy got like half a beat off on Paranoid, and the entire band adjusted to him.
Yeah,
it was insane. Yeah. Like it was like immediate. Like we turned and looked at each other. Like did that just happen?
Right.
Like did they just fucking do that?
Like it's shit on the fly.
Though, man, like those guys have been playing that song since like 1968 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like if you. Diesel Beast has this one song called "1,000 Bloody Nights."
Yes.
We know it.
Alex's favorite song.
It is Alex's favorite song. I can play that shit in my fucking sleep, though. You know what I mean? Like if I fuck up 1,000 Bloody Nights, like we're having a bad.
But that doesn't
night.
matter. I mean, it is writing a good song. It's like, I mean, it's great when people can play like technical, complex shit, and I'm impressed by it. I love that stuff too. But it's like. What's one of Beethoven's like most memorable things? Ode to Joy. Da 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 da. Like one of the simplest things that you ever wrote.
For Elise.
For Elise. Yeah.
I was actually
that's the
that's the Fifth Symphony.
Fifth Symphony.
Yeah.
For Elise though, just as easy as like da 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 da.
But what I'm saying is like things that we remember hundreds of years later are some of the simplest melodies that one of the greatest musicians of all time wrote.
No, I truly believe that, and okay, I'm gonna plug my own band on this podcast with Jake Pearson again. I
Great hanging. Great hanging band.
Great hanging band. Like check them out, they're fucking amazing. I recently wrote a song called "The Tower." Mm-hmm. It's about the tarot card, and it is the simplest shit ever. You know what I mean? Like it is. Man, you could play this song high as fuck. Like it is so easy to play, but it's a powerful song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But I don't know, man. Like simplicity is sometimes the key to elegance, and I believe that metal is more tuned into elegance than most other genres sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like we will jump into it, we'll get like fucking thrashy and rowdy with it, but like if you don't have a semblance of elegance to your metal, it really doesn't stand out.
Right.
I've had some similar thoughts about simplicity. I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, personally, I haven't thought of elegance. I'll have to think more on that, or maybe we can talk more about that later. But I've always thought of what.
Does that mean cuddle?
No, but I was just gonna say, like, I think simplicity. It's like it's one of those things that like. It's so like a simpler song is easier to catch on. A simpler idea is easier to catch on.
Look at a band like,
but it's so hard to kind of like toe that line of being like simple and like interesting, as opposed to just it's just da da da.
I think
it's just like who cares?
The
right?
perfect example of that simplicity in metal is Kiss. Actually, like Kiss is so simple. Like kind of rudimentary almost. Like
totally.
But like the songs were so impactful. The show was so memorable. Like they sold it. You know what I mean? But they played. If you listen to a Kiss album, it is very basic.
Yeah, that's like most musicians, right? It's like they'll learn a Kiss song or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like that. Or like or something.
Hot take. Kiss is the Nirvana of metal. It's that band that everybody needs to hear. If you want to play metal, you have to listen to Kiss first. If you want to play rock and roll or like weird punk shit, you gotta listen to Nirvana first. Like, Kiss is the Nirvana of heavy metal.
Well, wouldn't Nirvana be the Kiss of something? Because Kiss came first.
Okay, so Nirvana is the Kiss of
Grunge.
Grunge.
Yeah, but grunge is that's too myopic for what Nirvana did.
Alternative?
It is.
Right.
Kiss. Wait, fuck, you guys can jack me up here. Hang on. Nirvana is the Kiss of sad boy rock.
There you go.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
I think my example of whenever I think of simplicity and kind of songwriting is Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
That whole song is like 3 riffs and like 3 different lyrics. And it's just like, it's such a powerful fucking song. It works on so many levels of just like, you know, you can just fucking mosh to it, right? It's got, you know, kind of a message, right?
That bass line, though, that bass line, and like Rage, I like Rage, but like the specific bass line in Killing of the Name of is so, it's deliberate, it's super repetitive, but it's deliberate, and it's like really fucking heavy. Like,
I mean, that whole song is repetitive. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just fuck you. You don't do what you tell me. Fuck you 8 times or 16 times or whatever the fuck you.
I think of the Ramones, which I love, but it's like the ultimate like simplistic thing, but it's great. Like they do it so well.
Yeah.
You do 3-chord rock, you sing songs about like normal shit, and then like you're done in 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't diminish that. Like the Ramones are iconic. You know what I mean? Like you don't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's a wide scale, right? You can go from everything from that to Yngwie Malmsteen to Necrophagist or whatever, and they're all great. Like it's not that. It's like, but typically what you see, at least on the underground metal scene, is that people are so hyper focused on showing off skill and ability that I think that sometimes, a lot of times, is that songwriting suffers for it. And to me, when I watch a band and when I appreciate a band and when I become a fan of a band, is I love it when people can play their instruments well, but I much prefer it if they can craft a good song.
Can I make a super hot take right now?
Real quick, let me say this. There's like so many of those like virtuoso guitarists.
Yeah.
You know, like sort of like Jeff Loomis, Michelangelo Badio,
Gus G.
Gus G. There's one other dude I'm thinking of, I cannot think of his. Anyway, a lot of these, you know, virtuoso guitarists, other than, you know, kind of like the big, well-known ones, I guess. I guess even some of them even are guilty of it, of just like they're guilty of what you just said, where it's just like, you know, they're playing this insanely technical thing. And it's almost just of, you know, yeah, I'm playing a fucking rhythm in 9/8, like, but you know, the song sucks. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Right. And where like some of those guitarists are just like so boring. Like we're just like, yeah, I'm playing a million notes a second, but it's just like, you know, I'm not like having fun, right? There's no like.
Well, say like you solo over the whole song, like that makes the actual guitar solo a little less impactful, in my opinion. If you are one of those guys that just plays constant fills all the time, again, when you have a solo, it's not impactful because I've already heard all those licks.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know, man. Like, nope, had a point, drifted off.
Right. So what have you been listening to now? Like what's on your playlist lately?
Lately, it's you know, I've gone through listening to a whole bunch of different stuff, and I'm kind of like a lot of the bands that I said I was influenced by. Like I started getting into those bands when like in 2010 or whatever, and you know, you just listen to stuff so much, you know, at one point you just kind of stop and
then you come back.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm kind of re-listening to a lot of Sex Machine Guns, a lot of Galnerius. Galnerius has 2 separate vocalists, or not 2 separate vocalists. They, you know, like they had one vocalist for a while, and then you know he left and new vocalist came in. Right. I haven't listened to much of the new vocalist stuff, so I'm listening to a lot of that stuff. I'm a big anime fan, if you can tell by the shirt.
Right.
I watched there's an anime called Hunter x Hunter, the intro is done by the singer of Galnerius right now.
Oh wow.
And I think like the second season's outro
is
Galnerius.
Weird
it's one
how
of the
much,
sickest songs.
Yeah.
I will say this, it is so very weird how much power metal is synonymous with manga and anime. Like,
Oh yeah, because like it's all about like it fits within sort of the paradigms, I guess, of the writing of it. You know, it's all about rising up and defeating the enemy and shit like
Right.
that, which is like it's the most popular anime and manga is like like shit like Dragon Ball Z or whatever. Where it's
Right.
like it's about a guy who's about to go fuck up another guy or whatever. But
sorry, that should be on a t-shirt. Like, that should be the tagline. Like, this is the Great Hanging's new album. This is about a guy who's about to go fuck up another guy.
Do you like power metal?
I do like power metal. I can't think. I want to say I don't know any power metal bands off the top of my head, but like I also feel like genres are so like nebulous now.
Sure. Yeah.
Where it's just like, is this a power metal band? Is this a folk metal band? Is this just some metal band?
Right.
So if you were to consider a band a power metal band, what do you think you'd be listening to right now?
What do I think I'd be listening to right now?
Of power metal.
Oh, power metal. Okay.
Yeah. If there's any that you dig on.
In Galnerius, that's sort of. I want to say that's probably one of the bigger Japanese power metal bands at the moment.
Okay.
Right off the top of my head, I don't even.
It's hard when you get put on the spot because like 5 minutes from now you'll be.
Jake, what's your favorite metal ever? Go!
Oh, the Sabbath! It's easy. It's really easy. But I was gonna say too, like I've also been listening to another Japanese band called Duran Gray. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I know who they are.
I haven't heard of them.
I've actually been sort of listening to that band. I've been kind of more or less like thinking about my vocals more.
Okay.
Because he's such a versatile vocalist.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place.
Way all over the place.
Yeah.
And some of like the falsetto things that he does,
Right.
and just low, just guttural stuff. It's just like it's so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's fucking nuts.
Mhm.
And then there's like just weird like avant-garde stuff like Psy.
I was gonna bring up. I was just thinking of
There you
Psy.
go.
Whenever I discovered them, I got all their music and I just found out about their last 3 albums that they put out.
Uh-huh.
So I've been listening to those a whole lot.
Yeah.
Their first song off of Air to Despair, Athleta, I think it's got like. It's mostly like it seems like it's mostly Japanese folk instruments.
Right.
In
Yeah,
that
they
song.
incorporate a lot of that
And
stuff.
it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so fucking insane. But like the title track on that album is really fucking weird because it has, it's got Phil Anselmo on it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What,
No,
really?
but the thing is, it's such a weird guest spot because it's like
He's just out there like, hey, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
I wish. I fucking wish, but no, it's one of those things where it's like you wouldn't know Phil Anselmo's on that track if I didn't tell you Phil Anselmo's on
Right.
that track. Like,
That's cool.
Like you just don't know, like you can't tell where he is on it. It's just doing vocals somewhere, I guess.
Right. That's cool though. I like how you
Phil Anselmo is one of those weird, like, Where's Waldo characters, though, in metal, though, where it's like, where the fuck is Phil Anselmo about to show up? It's like, oh, he's on this goat whore record.
Right.
Cool, didn't know that.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, he's throwing a festival in Maryland. Didn't know that. Like, what the fuck is Phil Anselmo doing?
True.
Anyway, so where can we find you? Like, The Great Hanging, like, you guys have been around for a really long time, but I feel like you don't get enough credit for it.
Yeah, right now, the best place to find us is just on Facebook, facebook.com/thegreathanging_band. I put band on there just, just to differentiate us from the actual Great Hanging.
Right,
In case anyone
right.
makes a Facebook page about that, which would be fucking weird, but...
Right.
Which is weird, too, because every now and then, like, people, like, will send our link to someone, and then, like, that's how they'll book us. Is like, yeah, like, come see the Great Hanging Band.
Right.
And it's like, it's in parentheses, like, whatever, but...
Right.
Yeah, facebook.com/thegreathanging_band. Pretty much right now it's just going to be just for, upcoming shows. Hopefully soon we're going to be doing some. Hopefully soon we're going to be recording. We want to do music videos and hopefully just kind of just doing some other kind of just online kind of stuff.
Do you have any shows booked right now?
At the moment, I do have. I brought tickets.
Nice.
Oh,
Mainly
shit.
just so I can read off of them.
Yeah, I'll pay for a ticket right now.
We are playing November 1st. We're playing at Rubber Gloves.
Nice.
We're playing. Actually, you know, I have the.
I don't have to buy a ticket to that shit. I run security.
You know what? Fuck you. I have the event page pulled up. Actually, I thought about that.
So tell us.
Actually, I'll tell you what, man. Let me pay for a ticket, and then we're gonna do a fucking contest.
I'm down for that. But we're playing with. This is the Analog Future Tour. It's with Four Stroke Baron and Stellar Circuits.
Okay, I don't know those bands.
Either.
I forget exactly where they're from. They're touring bands from out of state. And we're also playing with Perceived, Without Sacrifice, and All That Is Flesh.
I know Without Sacrifice.
I know Without Sacrifice, and I think I have.
Without Sacrifice is the only one not linked on this.
The one band I know is the only one with that link. So that's November 1st.
Yes, that's November 1st. Yeah, tickets, they are...
Well, I'll tell you what,
How much are tickets?
Tickets are $10.
$10.
No, I'm taking 10 bones right now. Here's the deal.
$10 and you get to use the glory hole in the bathroom.
That's true.
Can't
yeah.
wait.
No, I will do that. No, $10. Give me a ticket. All right.
We're gonna do a raffle.
Warlords, we love you.
Whoever sends Carrick in his DMs the gnarliest dick pics.
Please don't do that
No,
to
I'm just
me.
kidding.
No, okay, here's what I want.
Boob shots only.
I want the most satanic meme ever
There you
posted
go.
on my personal Facebook page, Carrick Coleman.
There you go.
And if you give me some shit that actually like drops my jaw,
Or
I'm gonna
how
give you a
about
ticket to
the
show.
Warlord page?
Or the Warlord page. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do like our show that we're trying to promote right now.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
theoretically.
All right, tell you what. Drop the most satanic pic on our Warlord page, and I will give you a free ticket to this Rubber Glove show.
November
Great
1st.
Hanging on November 1st. There's a lot of really bizarre shit going on.
Yeah.
And Stellar Circuits, Jesus, man.
It's great hanging. That's all I need.
Yeah, you
needs
just
to know.
show up for the
It's
great hanging.
Yeah, just come out for the great
Support the
hanging.
touring
I don't know, man.
bands.
The Great Hanging isn't on this ticket. It just says the Gria.
Yeah, great hanging. That's the only one that matters. We'll pencil it in. It's all
Anyway,
good.
yeah.
So you got that show on November 1st. Anything else right now?
That's the only thing we've got right now. Like I said, we're gonna try to be recording soon, so that kind of takes a little bit of precedent.
Of course.
It does.
Yeah, dude, trust me. Like that's pain in the ass.
Anytime some band goes underground, like just they're probably recording. It's like we can't take shows, we have to do this now.
And then we're also going to play another song at the end of the episode. So what's the second song that you'd like us to use?
The second song, it's going to be, this one's also going to be a little bit different from, we're going to be re-recording this song as well.
Sure, this is off the raw demo. This is the real shit.
No, actually,
this is
cool.
the stuff
Like,
that the underground kids,
Yeah.
when you get big and you do the nice polished record, that's going to be the poser stuff. This is going to be the real thing.
If you're a true fan.
That's right.
when the Great Hanging comes out with their like great studio album, we will plug the fuck out of that. But right now, you're hearing raw ass demos from a metal band down in Gainesville, and you're fucking welcome.
Yeah. So what's this one?
This one is this is our thrashy song, or super thrashy song. This is Infect the Mortal Chord.
Nice.
It's about zombies. I wrote it when zombies were still cool.
This one is Infect the Mortal Chord by the Great Hanging. Thank you for tuning into Warlord Radio, and as always, fuck Varg V. Kearns.
Yeah, there it is. All right, before we fade out, I'm trying to think. With speed
I just
round.
did the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. We'll keep it going. That's okay. Speed round. What's a quick question that you want to ask Jake?
What kind of conditioner do you use? dudes, because your hair is fucking luxurious.
Jake has all the hair that we don't.
I was thinking about that earlier. It's like I have enough hair for the both of you.
Baldest podcast.
Yeah. I'm glad I can bring some diversity into this podcast.
That's right. So, what's
So
your
like,
hair
we're talking
care
Kurt
regimen?
Plus, maybe it's Megadeth.
Typically, it's just like the Walmart OGX coconut conditioner. That's what I use.
Yeah.
All right, so
Sometimes I'll get if I've got money, I'll go to H Mart in Carrollton and get some really nice.
you get like
it's all-
Korean
it-
shampoo.
Yeah, I do. It smells so fucking good, dude. Holy shit, man. It's some shit like Love You or like Summer Breeze or some shit like that. Just go to H Mart and fucking shampoo and conditioner. It's amazing.
We'll take a picture later, but if you don't know this, like, we're already bald as fuck. Jake has the most luxurious head of hair.
Yeah.
So go out to H Mart and get you some Korean fucking shampoo.
All right. Last question. Favorite Megadeth song?
My favorite Tornado of Souls.
Ah, same.
It's one of the.
Wrong!
Same.
No. Hold on.
Same.
Anything other than 20 bullets is wrong.
No.
20 bullets? Are you serious?
Tornado.
Tornado of Souls is one of the best solos of all fucking time.
Come on,
So we'll end on that because you picked correctly. So thank you for listening to Warlord Radio and Harry Rock Radio. We greatly appreciate Jake from The Great Hanging. And we're going to end with the song. One more time, what is it?
In fact! Can I yell?
Yeah, do it.
In fact, the Mortal I can keep going if you want me to.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Done.
Dead or alive, or maybe just sad, I'm bringing you down.